So, it is time for some mischief. And inspired by the Welsh horse skull, I'm going to stage, or I'm hoping to stage, my own mini, very low budget Mari Lwyd social experiment. So, my confession is I did not have a horse skull. I do not have a horse skull. I am not getting a horse skull. That is kind of morbid, in my opinion. But God bless you, Wales. Maybe what I will do instead is get one of those creepy 80s Halloween costume masks. Now, if you're around in the 80s, I sure you remember those. If you were not, literally look up, do a Google search, a Yahoo search, or whatever your browser search, quote unquote, creepy 80s Halloween costume masks. I repeat, quote unquote, creepy 80s Halloween costume masks. You will see exactly why I call them creepy, and you will also see why they are not used anymore. To quote what I found online, those quote unquote creepy 80s costume masks were made of thin, often sharp edged, vacuum formed plastic masks held by a flimsy elastic band, frequently paired with a vinyl smock costume. Okay, if you're not driving, you may want to look this up while you're listening along. While we get to my idea, I am going to discuss this absolute creepy Airbnb my wife and I stayed at in Athens, Georgia, home of the University of Georgia. So I was looking at doctorate schools, and one of those I was looking at was the University of Georgia. And, we're staying at Airbnbs, looking at different schools, blah, blah, blah. So we stayed at this one home. It had good ratings. We were staying in the one room at the house. And like middle of the night, my wife comes in and she pokes me and she's like, Jimmy, I don't have to go to the bathroom. She's like, no, just go to the bathroom. So lights are off. I walk in. I open the light, turn the light on. What is staring down at me as I am in front of the toilet but a creepy 80s mask of, I think it was Barbie. Yeah, now look it up. Look it up. So I couldn't help but keep, looking at it with the corner of my eye, waiting for it to move or say something. Lo and behold, I would later find out that this home had as decoration in other rooms those creepy 80s masks. I kid you not. I kid you not. It was an experience. I'll just put it that way. And I know we won't be staying at an Airbnb anytime soon. The people were very friendly. It was just odd. That's a good way to put it. It was just odd. Okay. Now, what I want to do with one of those creepy 80s costumes, right? Maybe serenade a neighbor's door from the sidewalk. Maybe, I don't know. I have a very bad voice, but when I get behind the karaoke mic, I am Steve Perry of Journey. Not really, but that's what I think I am. So that's what I want to do. And I have this, I don't know, sometimes my brain, I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's fun to be me at times. I guess that's just what I think. Because the one time I was with my dad and my wife and my mom, and we were down visiting my aunt, and I remember telling my dad, I said, Dad, or maybe it was my wife, I said, I want to get a Darth Vader costume and literally just stand outside someone's porch door. But who thinks of that? Apparently I do. But either way, the whole point would not necessarily be a perfect prank. The point would be to break my own routine, to lean into silliness, to generate a ridiculous story that made me laugh during a quiet or even somber week. Laughter is so vital for navigating heavy times. It's so important. And I know it's not always easy, but trust me, some of these things that I just mentioned, that's what helps me going. It's what helps me going.